All right, Cedrick, well, let's get it. You ready? Yeah, all right.
Sitting over there reminiscing, man.
Yeah, I already know. So, man, usually, you know what? I be taking forever, but we're going to just go ahead and get right into it. And I already got the camera rolling and everything.
Gotcha.
All right, so, everybody, let me bring the camera down so you can see my man's. All that hair, because dreads, the locks don't fit on the video. I got to readjust. All right, here we go. So, I'm going to let you introduce yourself, tell him your name. I know his name. I just met him. Really cool guy. But I'm going to let him go ahead and tell him who you are first. He's very well spoken, so go ahead.
I'm Sid Smith, originally born in Arkansas, small town, Stuttgart, Arkansas to be exact, Sugartown. Been in Dallas now for approximately 7 years. I've migrated out here with my family for some professional reasons.
Okay, so now, great introduction, one of the best ones I've ever had. First off, I'm pretty sure the comments you let the comments talk about everything, so they're gonna talk about it. So, first question I asked you, what's making you? How long have you had?
I've had my dreads now for approximately 12 years.
12 years.
Yes.
And you know what? That's a lot of that's a lot of wrinkles. I gotta go rewind the footage, but I think you may have the longest. What was it? No, it's the back.
Okay.
Oh yeah. 12 years. Wow, bro. Look, it's down there.
That's also with a couple cuts.
With a couple cuts.
I cut about 9 inches off throughout the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay, so 12 years. Obviously, I've never had locks, but I would feel like with that attachment for that long, I would feel that there's an emotional attachment as well.
It is.
With that 12 years. So what's making you want to make this change?
My hair is a lot like relationships. You know, you have things in your life that play a part. They go through the good times and the bad times with you. And my hair has been a lot like that. I've been through a lot of things: the marriage of my wife, the birth of my children.
Beautiful.
The start of my career, all these things. I've been through a lot of highs and lows with all of them. And I've gotten to a point now, it's time to change. And sometimes for you to move forward, you gotta let go of what's holding you back in the past.
I agree. Okay, so we're transitioning, okay? Yes. So just new growth. So we're gonna trim the dead ends and just give it a nice fresh start, okay? That's beautiful, man. So without further ado, like I gotta readjust his character, man. You got a lot of hair. Like the back won't even, let me see if I can check. Man, you got a lot of hair down here. So still, bro, look, I didn't pump you all the way up, and we still got some down here. Okay, so last question. What kind of haircut you want to give, man? What kind of haircut are you getting?
I've seen one of your videos with a gentleman. You did a actual fix on it. He had his line was kind of off, but you put like a gosh, man. Best way I can describe it is kind of like the Anthony Anderson haircut from Blackish.
It's like a mini fro. No, Anthony. Do you have do you know what we're gonna figure this out. So we're gonna figure this out and we'll be back with you. But this is gonna be, I can tell this is gonna be a dope video. Get all this hair, man. Golly, and they're very well maintained as well. Man, you gotta have fun with this. Okay. I wish. You wanna cut the first one? Sure. Yeah, here you go. I'm gonna get the mirror for you. All right, you're gonna cut it. I'm gonna hold the spot for you.
Okay.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Alright, so you can hold the camera mirror so you can kind of see it. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna twist it as much as I can.
Okay.
And the hair where it doesn't start to lock is what we're gonna keep. So she locks about right here.
Okay.
So you can cut about cut right here. That's it. First one. Here we go. So you're gonna keep these nice and neat. Yes, right here for you now. Spot out for you. There we go. Okay. Crazy. There we go. All right. Now we begin.
Yes.
I just wanted to show the quality of his roots right here. So what I'm doing, find a good one. So what I'm doing when I cut the locks off, since he want to keep his hair longer and spongy top, this all here is locked. You kind of can see some of the locking cream or wax that he used, but right here, this is all locked hair. This is new growth that's twisted. It follows the pattern of the twist that he's been receiving. But I'm just gonna untwist the hair, unwound it, and I'm just gonna cut right here at the spot where it locks and keep all this new growth, and then he'll curl it from there. So I just wanted to give you guys an up close view. of what we're doing, all right? Okay, good morning, YouTube. And as you can see, this is going to be a big video. This is probably one of the most extreme transformations I've ever done in my life. Partly because this is the longest hair that I've ever cut in my life. This man has been growing his locks for 12 years, very well maintained, a lot of emotion attached. And I want to start by saying, well, first, shout out to my boy DeMarcus for this amazing beat. I always appreciate you, man. I'm giving you guys his Instagram link below. And yeah, so, man, this video was originally like 39 minutes, but I obviously know it was a little too long, so I cut it down to about 27. But there are going to be so many great tips in this video. He's had his locks maintained for so long, even after I cut the locks off, after you see, they still coiled up. I have another clip I'm going to insert to talk about the breakdown of his hair, and I'll give you some close-ups of it. But man, this is about to be dope. So I start by cutting each individual lock off where the lock ends. Basically, what that means is a dreadlock or a lock, whatever you prefer to call it, is hair that is locked together. It literally bounds together to form a strand, a type of coil. And he wants to keep the top a long layer, like he's gonna use the curl sponge on top. So what I do is I want to keep it as long as possible, but I also want to preserve the integrity of the lock itself. So what I do is I cut the lock off where it ends first, then I wash his hair, then we'll style from there. Alright, as you can see now, I'm actually cutting those locks off. I'll fast forward it because he literally has so many individual locks. But it gives me some time to talk and give you a breakdown of the video. He has some indentions in his scalp, in his head, So you'll see those more when he laughs. So when you fade people with indentions in their head, what you want to do is you kind of have to cater that fade around that indention. So I'll show you guys how to do that, because if you don't, you might give a perfect fade, but it can look bulky or like a chili bowl. So we don't want that look at all. Alright, look at those. Look, after I cut the lock off, the roots still coil. That is so amazing to me. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I'm going to wash his hair. I'm going to style it. I'm going to show you how to use the curl sponge as well. Well, I'll show you me using the curl sponge. But yeah, he's going to get a drop fade. I'm going to show you how to get that drop look. A drop fade is basically the back of the hair dropping lower. The fade in the back drops lower than the fade on the side of the temple. So you guys watch me cut these locks off, and I'll be back soon. Make sure you like and subscribe to this video, because I promise it's going to be epic. Look at those coils. That's amazing. I'm literally cutting all lock off, and he still has coil. I'll be back soon. So we got one more. I'm gonna cut the last one to first and last one. It's already, it's kind of in the back, so I'm gonna guide you on this one. So you can turn the clips off. You turn like you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah, man.
So right, just go take that snip right there. That's it. Y'all go, man. Ain't none of these better back. They all right. This is all of them right here. I'm gonna get the scrunchie, tie them up for you, nice and neat.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
I probably just lost about 3 pounds.
Oh man, solid. I want to show you. So his locks were so well maintained and so long, they kept their coil pattern. So these aren't the lock. This is actually the new growth hair. I can really pull straight through this, right? So this is new growth, but it still lays in the same formation, I guess because of timing and because of maintenance. So I just want to show, I thought it was really cool. So I comb this side out here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna comb this side out as well, and I'm gonna wash it, and then you guys know the drill. So but I just want to show you these coils. There, just look at them. Beautiful. I love well maintained hair. So great job. Okay, so now as you can see, look at those coils. Now I want to comb him out gently. Although he say he's not tender-headed, I still don't want to split the ends of his hair. What happens is when you split the ends, the way it kind of dampers the growth or health of the hair. The longer the hair grows, the more it splits. So I don't want to split the ends of his hair. So that's why I take my time when I comb him, and I also see I put pressure on the top of the head. I want to pull. I want to keep that scalp firm as I comb back. Okay. He also had the little product in his hair. His scalp wasn't dirty at all, but that's product locking, either locking wax, whatever he uses for his hair. So I'm gonna wash his hair, as you can see, in about a few seconds. Okay. So I just want to comb it out, get all. I actually want to see how long it is, how even it is. I'm obviously going to reshape the hair, but I just cut those locks off. So I want to see. I want to measure my length. I want to see what am I going to do. As I'm studying this, as I'm combing this hair, I'm studying. just like in school or any sport, the more you study, the more you're prepared. It's preparation. All right, even as I'm washing, I'm studying. Okay, I'm studying his curl pattern, and he has an extremely nice curl pattern. To be honest with you guys, you're gonna see. The video didn't do justice. His coils are nice and thick. He has a rich texture of hair. All right, so it makes my job a lot easier. I'll say that. All right, and one thing. So when you're cutting any transformation, whether it be braids, locks, whatever long style to short style, washing resets the hair. It's amazing how nature gives us what it's like. Everything is intertwined. When you wash someone's hair, you reset that pattern back to its natural growth pattern. You reset that hair back to its natural pattern. So as I wash, that's why I always wash with big transformations, because it resets the hair. It makes my job easier. I promise you, at the end of this video, you will not know that this man has ever had locks. Also, as you can see, on his edges, when I was cutting those locks off, I don't know if he had a taper or what the hair was low, but we're gonna blend that in perfectly when we transition his hair into that desired look that he has. But you guys watch. As you can see, I'm about to take the towel off, and you can't tell his curl pattern. I'm telling you, man, nice, shiny, luster, amazing curl pattern. All right. So you guys watch. I'm about to just comb the hair out. See, let's look at that taper he had on the sides. Since he's getting a drop now, we need to neutralize that. All right. So I'm gonna comb it. I'll reshape it at the end. I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so what makes this step so important, because this is the total outline or base or frame of your entire haircut. I repeat, this primary line will give your haircut the shape it desires. Now, if you don't get this line correct, or if you don't format it correctly or have it very nice and symmetrical, that fade, no matter how great you blend it, it won't have that illusion of perfection, because your fade will literally follow this guideline. That's why it's called a guideline. A guideline is to lead you into the transition that you're looking to achieve. So that's why, since he's getting a drop fade, if you notice at the temple, it starts a little higher. I drop it kind of 3/4 of the way behind the ear. And then, you see, I'm pulling that ear down. See how I pull that ear down with my index finger? And I keep that transition, and I'll lower it at the bottom. It's above the nape of the neck, but it's below the occipital bone, okay? So, it's very important. That's why I hard line mine all the way, because I don't want jagged lines up and down. I want a nice, smooth guideline, because I know that I can always take that clipper out with one similar or the exact one that I put it in with, okay? So, you guys, I'm about to clean that up. And then, my next step, something I do different this time. I'm going to do something different because he has such long hair, right? I'm actually going to debulk and then start to create that secondary guideline. Because sometimes I know when you guys are fading froze or doing drop fades on froze like this, see, I'm debulking that. Debulking is when I take that thicker portion of the hair out, I thin it out. Sometimes have you ever tried to put a secondary line in a fro and you can't see it because the hair is kind of clouded, because the hair that's longer on that top layer is hanging over? Well, if you debulk that section first, what will happen is now you can kind of see where you're going to put that secondary line. Oh, I'm dropping so much game. I'm going for a triple-double today. You know what I'm saying? So look, see that? Create that. And it's not going to hurt. I just put like a 3 or 4 on, a bigger guard. And then I just actually debulk. So now after I debulk, now I create my secondary line. Secondary line is the line. The primary line is the line that separates the skin from the hair. You always want a secondary space between that to kind of combine those. Now, it's not necessary. You know, there's been times where I didn't use it, experiment, or I've seen barbers who don't use it. But in my experience, it is much easier and it's much smoother, or it's easier to get a smooth look or a beautiful transition when you create this secondary line. Everything works in steps. You know, I can pay my bills when I make my money, but if I budget with my funds, it makes it smoother and I can see how much more, and I can calculate my funds much better. Same thing with a haircut. You want to budget the hair. You want to budget the fade, okay? If you do this, it makes it easier. So now, what I'm doing now, I'm going to blend this primary line in to the secondary line. Then I'm going to come back and blend the secondary line into the primary line. I also showed the other side of the fade, so I won't talk on that side as much. You guys can just watch me use the techniques I'm incorporating. But as you can see, as I'm fading, I'm not really using the full clipper. And I'm look at my left hand. I'm stretching the top of his scalp. Now, the reason why I do that is because I want to create a larger workspace. Sometimes when you're cutting fro type styles with a fade or a ball fade, you don't have much workspace. And as you see, I'm debulking here. I want to extend my workspace without, because I can't add more head and I can't make that secondary line too high, because if I do, this man gonna have a, like a south side or like a super high ball fade. So that's why I utilize all of my workspace and I create pathways for me to work through, okay? And I continue to keep that hair combed. I have to retrain his hair because he hasn't had a fade in years. He has so many different growth patterns. That's why I comb instead of brush as I go. See, these small things will help you create major differences as you cut. All right, and as you can see, he has certain indentions behind the ear. You saw when he smiled. If you look at the occipital bone right there. Now, I want to fade at an angle, and I want to keep that fade light in that area, so that way it doesn't get bulky. All right, now I'm debulking with the 3. Debulking is just kind of like thinning out. The benefits of debulking is because the lighter the area, the easier to fade. I say that in almost all my videos, but when you're fading a light area versus a very thick area of clumped hair, it's so much easier to get that fade because the hair is not as dense. It's always easy. Like it's easier to drink a substance that's thinner than it is to drink a substance that's thicker. Same thing with fading hair. These rules or principles apply in most all things. You just want to use these philosophies in haircutting. So now, when you see how I'm cutting with the grain of the hair, it's another form of debulking. I'm laying that hair down, I'm still cutting it to where I'm thinning it out, but I also want to lay it the way it grows so that I can cut against the grain. Sometimes the best way to get a fade, usually the best way to get a fade, is to cut against the grain. You see how that fade is starting to come together? Now I'm cutting. I want to cut against the grain of the hair, so that way I can build a beautiful transition. Okay, and again I comb so I can cut against the grain. Use your utensils. You don't have to have the most high quality utensils. Usually the higher the quality, the easier it is to do the job. But I've been doing these fades since I had the cheapest clippers. If you saw one of my other YouTube videos, I used a pair of Walmart clippers. It's the technique that's most important. This tiger claw right here, that method right there I just did, another form of debulking, using different part of the clippers to give you the same result. Sometimes in certain areas, those different techniques makes it easier. Like right there at the back of the area with the indentions, it was easier for me to do the tiger claw method. I'm using the 1.5. See, on top, what I want to do on the sides, I use a 3, a 2, a 1.5. Then I use my masters. But guard placement and using different guards. I know that in the front of his head, his temporal lobe right there, I know that his head kind of sticks out there, so I use a bigger guard because at the elevation of the scalp or the head is at its highest point. So if I use a smaller guard, I'll cut more hair off. Little things like that. Noticing that if you notice the way a person's head is, then you can know how to cut in certain areas. All right. Now I'm using my masters. I'm notch point hitting. So I'm hitting certain areas. I don't want to use the whole clipper, tiger claw again, to get that same fade. All right. So you guys watch. See, look at that. I'm hitting little bitty spots. See, those little spots that you think are irrelevant actually make the biggest impact on the cut. All right, you guys. So you watch, and I'll be back soon. Okay, so on this next side, I'm going to show you guys. On this next side, I'm not going to really talk. I'm going to let you guys study the techniques, study the clippers, how I use them, and how I debulk. And you can just watch what I explained to you on the first half. But I'm going to come back when it's time for the edge up, because it's very important. He has some thinner spots on this edge up that I didn't want to push back on, but it came out amazing. So you guys watch. I'll be back soon. All right. Now I'm going to show you, I'm about to insert a clip so you can see the transition of how this fade transitioned. All right, here you go, right here, watch this. Okay, so as you can see, it's coming along really, really smooth. Now it's time for the edge up, and as you can know if you watch my YouTube videos, I'm very big on natural edge ups, using what the client has to work with. It lasts longer, it's smoother, and it just looks better to me. All right, so first I apply my gel. Elegant Shave Gel is what I'm using. I want to acquire in a generous amount because I like to weight the gel. I want to use the gel to weigh down the hair. And as you can see, he has some thinner spots in the corner of his edge up, also in the front part of his edge up. But what a lot of people don't realize is if once you edge that hair up, it won't be as noticeable. It'll be nice and sharp. So as you can see, I push the hair back, then I comb the hair forward. I want to get that natural edge up laying forward, and I want to get the excess hair out the way. Then when I'm using my razor, if you have this is a decent razor, I don't have to apply much pressure, especially the more gel that I use. I don't want to use too much. I don't want to slather it on his head, but I want to do enough to weigh the hair down so it doesn't curl away. And I also want the razor to slide smoothly. My fault about that. Also, as you can see, I'm using my opposite thumb to stretch the hair toward where I'm using the razor. All right, very important. And on the front side, I stretch it away. I'm just wanting to make a flat, hard surface for my razor to slide on. Razors, it's hard to use a razor on loose skin, so that's why I tighten the skin. I'm using the corner of the blade to hit that curve as I come around, keeping it natural, and I just follow through. Good technique. Most of the motion is within my wrist, and I use that comb because I don't want to mat the hair together yet. Also, I noticed when you use the comb when you use the brush to try to lay the edge up down, the hair curls away. The comb kind of lays it down forward. Just another tip and one of the reasons why I use the comb on the edge up versus the brush. Okay, I also go against the grain to get those little stubbles, make the edge up last longer, gives it a nice sharp look. Come back with the edges for cleanup work, just to hit the little bitty hairs. I like to do all the dirty work with the razor and then come back and do the easier things with the clippers. Also, so on the other side, I'm going to let you guys watch. I'll be back when it's time to shape them up. Same process. You guys just watch and really study how I use the razor. Okay, I'll see you guys soon. Okay, so we've pretty much reached the conclusion. I'm about to shape the top up so that way the hair is pretty even. And it's time for his reaction, you guys. I'm about to let him go ahead and talk. I'm about to show him the mirror for the first time. I haven't let him look in the mirror. And we're about to see how he responds to this new haircut and look. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. Remember to like and subscribe. This is a dope video, so go ahead and share it on your Facebook and Instagram pages. Super transformation. All right, so here we go. You're about to see it for the first time. You ready? Yep.
It was you.
Good?
That's good, bro.
Real good?
That's good, man.
Nice. Yes, sir.
You like?
That's what's up.
But shake them ends up on the beer plate.
Okay.
Everything else good though?
That's good, brother.
Perfect.
That's good.
And that